Hey everyone, welcome back to another Weekly Rotations video. We're on now week, I believe, number 65 in this series where I show you everything I've worn all through the week. It's everything from my collection, so some things may be designer, niche, or indie, but most of them are gonna be cheapies because that is what I enjoy collecting and what this whole channel is about. Starting off with the first day of last week, my usual Sunday church-going routine. Decided to wear one because it was a little cool, but warmed up a little bit toward the middle of the day, and this one fits perfect in that mid, spring transition, fall transition kind of season if you want it too cool or too warm. It's one of my absolute favorite colognes in my whole collection. I think it's very underrated, especially how people talk about it nowadays. It is by Afnan, and this is Afnan Supremacy, not only intense. This is one that is really more close to Nishane's Hashivat, but a little bit of an vintage kind of style since it is a similar smelling fragrance. But what you're gonna get in this immediately, a majority of, is that black currant note from the top, and really it stays all the way through, even the mid, almost to the dry down. Very tart, juicy, slightly sweet. It's big pop of a fruitiness. It smells amazing, almost like a fruity citric kind of blend in there. And then right underneath that, you get a lot of oak moss, which is where this gets its similarity to Hashivat. A lot of that earthy, aromatic, almost dirty, but not quite so much. I do believe that Hawas Black is much more of a dirty style of oak moss. This has a little more cleanliness in it, a little bit of almost a powdery aspect, a little woody, very, very musky, airy, expansive as it goes through that mid and dry down. An absolutely amazing fragrance, whether it's casual, formal, dressed up, out and about, indoors, outdoors, cool, hot, whatever the occasion, it fits perfect in. This is an amazing quality scent. Like I said, that black currant note in here is so addictive and just almost mouth-watering. It's amazing. Absolutely love this scent profile. If you're not a fan of very oak moss, heavier, earthy, green, aromatic style fragrances, you might not like this, but if you like that, especially the more classy, mature, smooth kind of style, I think you'll absolutely enjoy this. By the way, performance on this was amazing. Lasted most of the day with a medium loud projection for almost the first part of the fragrance, and stayed pretty much there in that medium projection for a majority of the day. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. Great cologne. If you don't have this in your arsenal, I highly recommend this. Didn't wear anything that night, so then we go into the next day on Monday. Wore one that I opened up in a recent rack store haul video, and really enjoyed this one a lot more than I expected I was going to. And this is one that's kind of a hidden gem. If you do see it out and about at rack stores for a good price, I highly recommend it. This is one called Messi by Messi. The soccer player, I believe he's a soccer player. He has his own fragrance, came out in 2024. Got a little bit of hype for a while, then it died off quickly. It was very inexpensive for what it was, but now it's been popping up at rack stores, especially when I found, for a pretty good price. It was like $44.99, which to me is still pretty cheap. This is actually it has a magnetic cap, by the way, slightly magnetic, and a great pressurized atomizer. Very much in that style of Versace Eros, with a little bit of other mixture of blue style fragrances mixed in, like Versace Dylan Blue, Blue Chanel, YSLY, Salvador Ferragamo, Aqua Sensiale Blue, all those kind of fragrances. But it did smell like that more on the strip, but when I actually wore this on skin and on clothes, way more of that Eros DNA, but a little bit of a less sweet version of Eros. It does have the vanilla in here. It still is very present, but you get way more on that mint, way more of that greenness, that blue shower gel cleanliness, and just that overall Eros kind of DNA, way more noticeable on that part than all the other blue kind of stuff. And it's actually a really good performer. I actually had this to last on my clothes 2 days later when I went to pick out the same set of scrubs that I was wearing, because I'll alternate here and there, and it still smelled on the undershirt and on that outer layer. It was very, very strong, still present, and actually layered pretty well on the one that I wore on that day. Later, they're really, really good. It smells very nice. It's, like I say, I think a more mature, more classed version of Eros. If you don't want anything that's overly sweet, overly youthful, this is a great one to go with. Great quality, smells smooth, easy to love, easy to like, easy to wear, all that jazz. So basically, if you think of Eros as a blue fragrance, this is exactly what it is. Again, if you do happen to see this out and about at a good price, I do highly recommend it, especially if you don't have anything in the scent profile, but you want something with a little bit of a twist to it. This is a great one to go with. Then the next day on Tuesday was actually a fairly cooler day than most of the days throughout the week. It was like here and there, very much in that spring kind of feeling without it being overly warm. And so I wore one that not a whole lot of people may think of as a daytime wear. And I was like, you know what? One day in the spring, I want to wear this in the daytime to see how it is. And it was actually very enjoyable. This is by Lalique, and it's a hype one by them that got them on the map for having that niche kind of style quality for cheap. It is none other than one and only Encre Noir. Yes, I wore Encre Noir in the daytime. I think, what is it? Encre, that's the name for ink, and then Noir, of course, nice, was like dark ink or something like that. I believe that's a translation that I heard people talk about. but very much a vetiver, very woody forward fragrance. So not just vetiver, which does have that earthy, rooty aspect in here, but a lot of woods, more particularly cypress, and there's actually a very heavy dose of cashmere wood, which I never really got from this until I started wearing it. Of course, I wore it a good bit, and then as it got into that dry down, I was like, man, something smells like a nice, clean, like linen, fresh laundry style of woodiness, like a mixture of those two different profiles. And for some reason, cashmere wood popped in my head. And when I went to look at the note breakdown, sure enough, cashmere wood was in that base. It's like a clean style woodiness after that vetiver and all the spicier kind of aspects go away. You're left with a nice, clean, woody fragrance. But again, it is a very woody forward one and very dry as well. But this is a very classy, realistic, naturalistic kind of fragrance. If you want something that's very synthetic smelling, that's very, you know, bubblegum sweet and very out there, very loud, this is not gonna be for you. If you want something that is very natural smelling though, like photorealistic, almost like an environmental, immersive kind of scent, like an experience, this is a great one to go with. It has definitely earned the title of niche for cheap. It is an amazing quality, amazing scent profile for under $30. I think you can get it for like $26, $25 now, which is fantastic for this. For a full-size bottle, you cannot beat that. And a lot of people don't think of this as a great beginner fragrance, but if you are someone who is getting into fragrances, into collecting, and you want a nice, interesting kind of introduction to niche, but without paying a lot of money, this is a great one to go with, especially if you want something that's more woody forward or you're trying to find out what vetiver is all about. This is a perfect one to start with. Great performance as well, not overly bearing and not overly loud, but one that has pretty moderate projection and sillage and longevity. Not again, without being too overbearing. It's kind of a well balanced without being too much or too little. Highly recommend this. If you don't have it, check it out, see what all the hype is about, because I guarantee you it's very worth it. Then at nighttime, because it was cooler in the day, it was even cooler that night. So I decided to wear one that I might think of as a more fall, winter, like cold fragrance, but I think because I was indoors and it was still cooler outside, this worked out very well. And I was getting a piano lesson, want something very casual, easy to wear, and I just don't get a whole lot of occasions and opportunities to wear this. So I decided, hey, why not try it out and wear it some more, especially since I got a bottle for it and paid a pretty good bit for it, even at discounters. But it's by Giorgio Armani, and it is Strong With You, absolutely. The only Stronger With You name brand that I actually have. I have some clones, but this is the only one from the brand that I actually have. I really do want Powerfully, and I actually really do want Parfum as well, even though I've heard some good clones of Parfum out there. But this is a more boozy, more deeper sweet, more kind of darker, more mature version of Strong With You. It still is sweet, but not overbearing, not as for bubblegummy overdose vanilla as intensely or even the original one, but still very mature, very laid back, more the tame version. I do think that this is less potent than most of them out there. A lot of people say this is still a great performer, but to me, it didn't perform overly loud. It had okay longevity, but was not like jumping off my skin like I was expecting, but still was a great wear. It smelled amazing the whole time I wore it, very smooth. But if you do happen to find good clones out there of this, it's pretty much gonna smell the exact same. But I just got this whenever I heard it was hard to get and thought it was gonna be discontinued, so I just scooped it up when I had the chance. But I do still enjoy it. I'm glad I have it, but one that I won't be going out there and buying all the other ones unless it's very unique or very different. But still, really good, really enjoyable, and the scent profile is very easy to wear overall. The next day on Wednesday, wore one that I absolutely love. It's one of my other favorite clones that I have in my collection. It smells amazing. The scent profile is great, and it's also cloning a discontinued fragrance, so it's the only way that I'll be able to smell that certain fragrance is having this one here. It is by Armaf, and this is Infinity Silver. Absolutely love this. Also call it Infinity Black because of the colorization, but they do have a female version of this, which is a gold one. So silver, gold, male, feminine, which is how the Middle Eastern fragrances are defined. This is cloning the discontinued fragrance of YSL's L'Homme Ultime. I'm gonna open it again, even though I just smelled it. I love this scent profile. It smells so good, especially after it's matured on my shelf for a while. At first when I got it, I wasn't too impressed with it. It was great, smelled good, but the performance and the depth just was a little shy of what I really wanted it to be. But after letting it sit on the shelf, especially for a long while, then letting it mature, do all the funky fun stuff that cologne fragrances do, it's gotten way better, way smoother, more certain kind of notes deeper into that, you know, richer dry down, really starting to come out now. Really love this. This is very much a fresh masculine rose fragrance, but it's not like an overly floral rose. It's very effervescent, very fresh, musky, and expansive, but you get a big burst of citrus on the top, which actually might remind you a little bit of Bulgari Tiger kind of style. And then as it dries down, you get a little bit more of that fresh rose, like very, very fresh, almost watery, and a little bit of aromatics, some nice clean woods, and you actually get a little bit of a tobacco note in here, but it's not anything that's too ashy or smoky, just a tad bit of an aromatic nature to it, a tad bit of sweetness in here as well. And that tobacco is just very, like I said, aromatic. It's there, it's present, adding a nice little twist to it, almost some extra depth. It's just an absolutely amazing fragrance. It smells so good. An easy wear for really all the year round, any occasion, formal, casual, indoors, outdoors, out with friends, or going out to a formal gathering somewhere, or a business party, or whatever. It smells absolutely fantastic. It's a perfect signature fragrance that you can just grab, spray, and go without worrying about what it smells like or what it's gonna be like. You just know it's gonna be good, like a very easy blind reach kind of fragrance. And performance on this, like I said, has gotten better since I let it sit on the shelf and mature. Fairly good longevity, like right at the average, not maybe a little over that, and projection is probably right at average and not like a little over it as well. Pretty good overall. Absolutely love this fragrance. Like I said, the profile itself and the blend, nothing less from Armand you'd expect. It smells amazing, really, really good, and one of the top ones from the brand that I absolutely love. Like I said, one of the top clones that I have in my collection. If you don't have this, I highly recommend it. There's a lot of YouTubers out there that recommended this, and one that got me to do it was Omar from School of Sense channel, because he's very critical, he's very hardcore and hard-nosed on stuff, and if he likes a cheap fragrance, especially a clone, and he says it's really good and it's worth it, it definitely piques my interest, and to me is worthy of a blind buy. Like I said, he has a lot of the same taste that I do, and because he's so critical, if he says something's good, I pretty much trust him on it, because I've done that a lot with a lot of other fragrances I have back here and haven't been proven wrong yet. So yeah, love this stuff, absolutely amazing. If you haven't got this yet, highly recommend it. Then at nighttime, I had midweek church service, and we're one that a lot of people, especially here in the cheapy community, absolutely love. I know Dustin from the Fragrance Fan channel absolutely loves this one as well, and a lot of my subscribers here, my usuals, would definitely comment and say, yes, this is a great one to go with. Probably one of the best ones from the brand. It is by Banana Republic, and this one is Midnight Hour. Absolutely love this fragrance. It's way higher quality than you expect for the price, especially when you're able to pick this up at a rack store for like $20 for a full-size bottle. It is phenomenal quality and like a steal of a deal. Definitely in that Aventus profile, but with a little more extra fruitiness to it, with a nice mango note on the top, adds a little bit of a tropical twist, and also has a oud note in the base, which you really don't get unless you probably spray a whole lot on and you know it's there, and you just really look for it. You might get a little bit of a different kind of woody funkiness in there, but really what I get with this is a lot of the oak moss and a little bit of the smoked woods in there, but a lot of that oak moss, very earthy, aromatic, a little green, along with that sweet tropical citrus fruity kind of aspect mixed on the top. It's just an amazing profile. Like I said, Aventus, but with a twist. I think it's actually probably meant to clone a Mind Games fragrance. I can't think of the one that they have that's very close to Aventus, like a tropical twist on it with mango. It's probably what's more meant to clone, and if I remember that one, I might put the name down there. If not, you can let me know in the comments, but it smells amazing. I mean, regardless of what it's supposed to be, it's an amazing twist on that profile of whatever it is. And performance with this, especially as a Banana Republic fragrance, was not that bad. It's still a little under average for me, both in projection and longevity, but again, the scent profile and the quality you get out of this is what matters most to me, and it smells amazing. That even if it's a short-lived experience, if it's a good experience, it's a win in my book. If you do happen to see this out and about at rack stores, like I said, for that $29.99 sign, you definitely need to pick this up, especially if you just love Banana Republic as a brand, or if you want a good Aventus twist, don't pass this up. The next day on Thursday, wore a Lattafa fragrance that I got in those small little travel size that you've been seeing a lot at rack stores, the little bitty boxes, the miniature versions of like the small cutesy bottles. I've shown one on here before, maybe a couple of them on here. And this one is actually getting a lot of hype online at the moment. A lot of people are discovering it, buying it up, and really enjoying it. Perfect for spring and summertime, especially high heat of spring and summer. This is like the perfect one to wear. It is by them, called Breeze. And this is in their Lattafa Pride line. So this is how you know it's going to be a little bit upper quality than most of their other fragrance releases. This is, I think, meant to be a clone of Maison France Courtisans. Is it, what, 357 to 347? One of those fragrances. It is very clean. If you want the epitome of clean in a fragrance, this is it here. Very white floral overall, clean, airy, musky, a little bit soapy as well, a nice base dry woodiness, a very slight bit of powder, but mostly what you get is a lot of that clean musk and florals. It smells like what I described someone online, and ever since they said it and I read it, I cannot get it out of my mind. They said it smells like the best luxury hotel soap that you can imagine, like the clean air in the room, the fresh linen smell, and you're washing your hands with that nice, very base luxury soap that's meant to smell like, you know, every other clean soap out there, but it just feels a little better because you're paying a little more for the hotel room. It definitely has that kind of air to it, and I actually really enjoy it. Smells great, it's clean, perfectly unisex. I mean, very inoffensive. You're not gonna offend anybody with it unless anybody just doesn't like clean floral scents. And if you're one of those, you definitely won't like this one, but it's one that you can overspray. I didn't get a lot of performance out of this one because it is a fresh fragrance, and two, it's a small bottle with a small atomizer, and I was kind of overestimating what it could do, and I sprayed a little bit on and went out, and before I knew it, it was drying off because I did a lot of work that day anyway. So I know next time to double or triple spray since it is just a small delivery on this, but still not bad at all. Absolutely love this. If you do happen to see this in a bigger bottle for a really good price, I recommend it. But if you do happen to see these small ones out there from Lattafa, I think they're perfect to get, and like at most rack stores I've seen, they're like $9 or something, so almost like you're buying a sample kit. So definitely don't pass these up if you see them out and about, especially this one here for spring, summer. It's perfect to wear for any occasion. And then on lunch break, when I realized that that thing was drying off, I decided to spray a different fragrance on top of that. I was planning on wearing this later that night, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and wear it in the daytime. On top of that, it should blend out pretty nicely, and it actually really did. It is a new Belkin fragrance I picked up recently from Walmart, and this one is called Gladiator. I know that they probably redid the bottle on this since I first saw it out on shelves, especially on Amazon and Belkin's site, because Belkin's been redoing a lot of their bottling, but all the formulations inside should still be the same. This is meant to be a clone, if you can't already guess, of Invictus. When you first smell it, you're definitely gonna get it. And it's the original Invictus, has that very bubblegum forward sweetness in the beginning, a lot of that grapefruity citric opening as well, and a lot of lavender and a lot of sea salt minerality, marine kind of aspects in there, a little bit of a fuzziness as well. Very fresh, very clean. It smells amazing. It smells like Invictus, and like I said, the original formulation of Invictus, which is what, you know, Belkin tends to do, is the original formulations. It smells great, very nice, way better quality than you expect, especially for like the $8 or $9 I picked this up at. It's really enjoyable, really nice. No one's gonna hate this, no one's gonna be offended by it. It's just one of those very easy, clean smells, like the more youthful version of Breeze over here by Lattafa. But yeah, love this stuff. If you happen to see it at Walmart or Amazon for a cheap price, just pick it up and try it out, because like I said, it's hard to hate on this. And that nighttime, had a music practice to go to and decided to wear another blue juiced fragrance that I have not given any wears yet. I know I opened it up in a recent Under the Radar rack store haul video, and I put that video link up here, and this is one by Bentley, and this is Momentum Unlimited. I know originally in that video when I started smelling it, I was like, man, it smells very similar to something. Went, looked it up on Fragrantica, looked at the smells like section, and was like, oh yeah, that's why it smells familiar. Because this opens up having a good bit of that blue shower gel, fruity sweetness with a little bit of that almost aquatic kind of nature, but as it dries down, it very much gets close to that Mont Blanc Starwalker, Versace Mano Fraiche mixture kind of deal. It gets more woody, like more dry woody, and a little more aromatic, very slightly green, and of course very musky all the way through, but the woods really come out as this thing dries down. It smells amazing, it's classy, easy to wear for most of the year round, especially the warmer weather. It's a good office wear, good casual, good signature, whatever. It's just a great quality as well. I mean, it is a Bentley fragrance, and it's in the Momentum line, which means it's gonna have really good quality to it. Absolutely love this. I don't think I like this as much as the Intense version, but there's a lot of other flankers that I wanna get from this line as well, and at some point I'll pick them up and I'll probably do a whole line about them. But yeah, love this one. Very good, and a great price to pick this up at as well. So if you don't know what else to get, or you're looking at getting any of the Bentley Momentum lines, this is a great one to pick up if it's your first one. I really like it. Then the next day on Friday, wore another one in the Off Non Supremacy line. The only other one that I have that works perfect for most of the year round, and it's the one that probably most people are gonna give the hype and the #1 spot to, even above Supremacy, not only Intense, and it is Supremacy Collector's Edition. The one that's a clone, smells similar to Absolute Aventus. And I gotta say, after being able to wear Absolute Aventus on skin, this is very close, but very much has a good twist to it, which I think makes it a little more versatile and more unique as well. This has more of a white floral twist on the opening to mid, being a little more clean, having a little bit more of a classy masculinity to it, even a little different twist than the original, but that oak moss is still there, that sweet fruitiness is still there, a lot of that woodiness, that musky aspect as well, all that is still there. It smells amazing. I've gotten a lot of compliments on this as well. Everyone loves how this smells. It just smells really, really good, and the performance on this has gotten way, way better ever since I've had it and been sitting on my shelf like most of the things I have back here. It is easily all day longevity with a medium projection for most of the fragrance. Very loud for the opening part, so be careful how much you spray, but it smells amazing, and as it dries down, it stays smooth, very well put together. It has a very nice skin scent when you go way further into the dry down. It smells amazing. Everything you want in Absolute Ventus, but like I said, a nice white floral, clean, like classy masculine twist to it. This is a great one to go with. Absolutely love it. I can't say enough that's already been said about it already, so just go ahead and buy it if you don't have it already. That nighttime, you know, my usual Friday night routine with myself, my wife and baby, we go out shopping, get groceries, things like that, and it was a way cooler night. Like when I say it dropped way, way fast, way low, the wind was picking up and just blowing in a lot of the cold front, and so I decided to wear one that I know I just wore this like maybe a week or two ago, and I really recently picked it up, but I just absolutely love it. It's my favorite from the house after I sampled a lot of things from it and decided to buy a full bottle of this recently from a very indie niche style house, which is Ita Libre de Orange, and this one is Semi-Modern Vetiver, also known as Fat Electrician. This is basically a gourmand vetiver fragrance. I've already talked about this, so I'm not gonna talk a whole lot about it, because it isn't a very cheap fragrance, but as far as the quality that it is and the niche profile that it is and from the company that it is, and you can find it at discounters, it actually isn't a bad price at all, but very much has a coumarin, sweet, vanillic, nutty aspect to it, mixed in with that vetiver on the top, which is a little aromatic, a little green, dries down, having some woodier, more like earthy aspects to it as well, and that sweet, fluffy vanilla, like whipped cream kind of muskiness comes up in there as well. Like you wouldn't expect it to mix, but it actually smells really, really good. Perfect for the spring, fall, and winter time. Probably not so much in summer, unless it's like summer nights and you're inside and things like that. But man, love this stuff. If you ever have a chance to sample anything from Ita Libre de Orange, I highly recommend it, especially this fragrance, You Or Someone Like You, and Clean Suede. Those are probably the only other two that I'll get a full bottle of, and I'm actually waiting on a full bottle of You Or Someone Like You coming in here soon. And no, I'm not copying Micah fragrances, even though he got it before I did. But still, love it, love this stuff. Like I said, had a chance to sample from the house, I highly recommend them. And the next day on Saturday, had a big day planned, had a lot of things to work on, and had to get ready to go with a youth group that night and hang out, have some fun, and other kind of things, just enjoy it, have some nice fellowship. And it was very, very cold that night, so I had a chance to wear this fragrance, which is the last sample that I have from Aaron Chance Hughes, and it's kind of bittersweet. I really enjoyed it. It was a nice last send-off to all the things I had from him, and hopefully I'll be able to buy more samples from them. And actually, I didn't buy these at all. These are the ones that were gifted to me from my best friend Tommy, and this is the last one from that set that he gifted me. It is this one here, Onyx Extreme. This is the fragrance Onyx, and Onyx Extreme are the ones that got me into rose-scented fragrances, and Aaron is probably the best one to do rose. Man, I still smell it. It's so potent on this. Rose, patchouli, a little bit of an oudi funk in there, a lot of musk, very, very dark in there as well. Dark woodiness, a tad bit of sweetness as well. Smells absolutely incredible. Way more for like the cooler fall, winter, but I think because of how cool it was that night and it's still springtime, it worked great as well. I mean, absolutely amazing. This is a phenomenal stuff. It probably has oxidized a good bit since it had a little bit of a leak to it. Actually, all of them had a little leak to them and they were like slowly evaporating, so I had to make sure to hurry up and spray them all on, but this was the last one. Like I said, probably had some oxidation and might not have smelled exactly like it should have when it had a fresh batch to it, but still, it's incredible. I can't recommend trying Aaron's stuff enough. They are phenomenal profiles. He uses very high quality ingredients. He's a great perfumer, great personality. He's also a YouTuber on here reviewing other fragrances and breaking them down, so I highly recommend his channel if you are one who wants to get into perfumery or just see a perfumer break them down and talk about what makes them as good as they are. But yeah, if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Definitely recommend going to sample Aaron's stuff if you ever get the chance to. Like I said, especially if you want to see what perfumery can really be with a lot of creativity and passion behind it. Definitely recommend it. And actually making full circle from Winston Day to the next one, because I'm recording this the Sunday before I upload this video, because it's been a long day, a long weekend, didn't get the chance to really record and do it way ahead of time, so I'm doing it right now. And the one that I wore today, that I wore in the morning and then refreshed when I came back home that afternoon before going to another service, was this one here, my absolute favorite clones from my collection as well, that I have some videos talking about, especially shorts And talking about this one by itself, it is by Paris Corner, and it is the original cat ears. So you know, all the other fragrances from this line are cloning Kayali fragrances, but this one's actually cloning Gisa's Imperial Valley, which is very much a unisex fragrance, but I think because of the profile, it definitely has a little more of a masculine lean to it. So this is the more masculine out of the whole KR line. All the other ones are unisex, but way more feminine leaning, because this has a lot of very nice aromatic, green, woody oud in here, and a lot of leather, a slightly animalic, slightly smoky leather that's actually very clean, especially as it dries through, and you get more of the aromatics, a lot of that Davana, which adds some sweetness in here, which balances out a lot of that woodiness, and that leather has a great balance in here. Overall, it smells really, really, really good. I love this stuff. It is, if you want a nice Middle Eastern twist of a masculine signature, this is a great one to go with. I actually think I'm featuring this one in my Spring Cheapies video, which should be uploading this coming Friday, which has been a little delayed. I wanted to upload that a little before spring, but now I'm uploading it this week instead. But this is definitely in it because this is a perfect one for springtime, perfect for fall, and really perfect for wintertime. I think even almost all year round, probably not for the super high heat of summer when the sun's just beating down on you, but you probably could pull it off if you're indoors at nighttime in air conditioning. But man, this stuff is good. I love it. It's something about this, when I first sprayed it, it literally gave me almost like goosebumps. It's just something about it connected to me, just my personality, if I was to be a perfumer or the kind of collector that I am. It just really, for some reason, it spoke to me. I can't tell you how or why, but it just really did. I just love this stuff. I think it's a great Middle Eastern, mainly masculine signature, a little bit of a throwback feel with a nice modern twist to it. I just really love it. If you want a woody, oud, aromatic, leather-forward fragrance, this is a great one to go with. A good bit of freshness in there, so it's not all dark, and like I said, a little bit of sweetness as well to balance it all out, and a phenomenal performer. Even though I did refresh with it mid this afternoon, it still carried on way into the day until I changed clothes and didn't smell on them anymore. It's really a great performer. So if you do happen to see this out and about at rack stores or online for a really good price, I definitely recommend picking it up, especially if you're curious about it. Just go ahead and pick it up and try it out, because I'm telling you, I really love this stuff. And there you guys, all the things I've worn all through this week. If anything in here stood out to you or piqued your interest, let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you're looking at buying it and you have questions about it, or if you own it or you used to own it, or you do or don't like it, let me know all what you think about it in the comments below. And as usual, if you watch this video and you like what you've seen here, if you enjoyed it or learned anything from it, please consider giving the video a like and a thumbs up. Let me know to keep making these week rotation videos. Like I said, we're trying to add some twists and turns here and there throughout the year. Just be looking for those community posts for me to ask you guys about your input of what do you think I should wear the week following. And as usual, if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed to the channel, but you do like what you've seen here or what you've seen elsewhere on the channel, I encourage you to please consider supporting this channel by subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you can see all the other things I'm working on in the background, because trust me, there's a lot of things I'm working on, a lot of big schedule to go with. I'm trying to work on bringing out all this stuff for you guys, for all of you to watch and enjoy, and hopefully find some kind of entertainment and information out of. I'd love for you to be right along with me on this cheap and inexpensive fragrance journey, and hey, maybe I can even help you discover something new along the way. And as always, guys, that's all I have for today's video. Again, thank you for being here and for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you've enjoyed it. And I'll see all of you again in the next video. Be blessed.